So we're going to talk about Noah now. Now, Noah was a prophet from the beginning. Okay, and you have to understand the government of the people of God from the time of Adam till the time of Noah. You know, if you've ever watched any movies about Noah or heard anybody, you know, seen any depictions of Noah, they would have you believe that Noah was some kind of tribal shaman who was, a crazy man or whatever. And no, that wasn't the way it was at all. Noah was like president of the world. You know, I mean, he was the direct descendant, the direct heir to the presidency of all of the people of God. He wasn't just a tribal shaman. He was an internationally known figure. Everybody knew who Noah was. The other thing that people don't, people looking at, the way they depict in movies and stuff is that before the flood, everybody was a bunch of hunter-gatherers, or they lived in villages or whatever. No, they had a very advanced civilization, and it was global. It wasn't just in around where Noah or where Adam and Eve started out. The evidence suggests that that the people of God were worldwide, and they were very advanced people. I mean, and they were, building on the foundations of the ancient ones, the pre-Adamites, and they had technology. I had a vision one time, and I saw, what we would call UFOs, and there were fleets of spaceships filling the skies. I mean, these people were highly advanced technological people, and Jesus talked about, as it was in the days of Noah, so it will be in the days just before the coming of the Son of Man. I mean, look at the stuff that we've got now. Okay? And there's a lot of technology that's hidden from the public that the governments are hiding from us because of big oil, but that's another story. But the thing is that we live in a time of advanced technology that they had before the flood. You think about Noah building this ark. I remember watching a video where the sons were out there chopping trees with an axe, and and shaping the wood with hand tools. No, they didn't use hand tools, and they didn't chop trees with axes or whatever. They were using machines. Okay, these people were very highly advanced technological people. And the interesting thing is that Noah's preaching, for the most part, was not accepted by people because people were started to rely upon their technology more than they were relying upon God. Okay, and the signs of the times, where up until just prior to the time of Noah, people were being fruitful and multiplying. By the time of Noah, there was abortion, there was birth control, there was limiting numbers of people being born. People were, the devil doctrine of overpopulation was popular, and the same kinds of devil doctrine that you hear today about zero population and depopulation, was going on before Adam and Eve. And they had this genetic research going, the same as we've got now, and they were making hybrid people. and they made clones, and they did all kinds of stuff that we're actually doing today. They were doing all this stuff at the time of Adam, and science was a big deal. Okay, so Noah is preaching about a flood that's going to come. Well, people that were in science, they took it seriously. And before the flood came, a lot of those people fled into space. You know, when you're talking about extraterrestrials coming back to this planet, those extraterrestrials are not from other planets. Those extraterrestrials are from, their ancestors were from our planet. Okay? They fled the Earth. Well, there's actually two groups. There's pre-Adamite groups because of their high advanced technology. When the war broke out, a lot of them went into space to flee the war that was going on the Earth and on Mars. And then, of course, people before the flood fled the Earth. And not only did they flee the Earth, but there were people that set up colonies in the oceans. You know, there's evidence of you know, they don't call them unidentified flying object. They call them unidentified water objects, or I don't know exactly the initials what they use, but you know, there's evidence of advanced civilization living under the seas. You know, it's there, and but anyway, there's a lot of people that fled the Earth. Okay, so here's Noah, and he's preaching, and the flood comes. Okay, and except for the people that fled into space, and those who fled to colonies underneath the ocean waves, for all intents and purposes, Noah and his family were the only survivors. But not really. From Noah's point of view, he was the only survivor. He and his family were the only survivors. And when they came down in Ararat, in the whole Middle East where they came down, there were no other people. You know, and Noah saw the destruction of where he was living. You know, he saw the mountains go under the waves. You know, so he's saying, well, everybody got destroyed, and for sure the giants were destroyed. And, you know, millions and maybe billions of people died in the flood. Okay, so, but not everybody died in the flood. Noah was not the only survivor. We have stories of Indians, of the Eastern Indians, the people from India, okay, building boats and surviving the flood. There's the legends out of the stories that come out of Africa where when the floodwaters came, that whole tribes of people climbed into the mountains above the Sahara, and the sands of the Sahara soaked up the water and they survived. And then there's China, same type of story, that the flood started coming and the people fled to the mountains and they climbed the mountains until the floodwaters abated. They've climbed in the Himalayas. And then as soon as the water subsided, and they came back down and lived in the plains. Okay? And I wanted to bring this up because when I was growing up, I was taught that that the three races of the world were because of Noah had three sons. Well, that's not true. The people of other races were not the children of Adam, or were not the children of Adam and Eve, and they were not the children of Noah and his three sons. Noah and his three sons were white, and so they are the fathers. Noah and his sons are the fathers of, so to speak, the chosen lineage. Now, there are other white people that are not children of Noah. And then the Chinese are not children of Noah. Africans are not children of Noah. Aborigines are not children of Noah. And so there you have it.